Hey guys, how's it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in and see this. So, this is going to be a general reading for Capricorn and Aquarius. All right. So, after the live, I will post a timestamp for the people who are coming later who perhaps just want to watch Aquarius. All right. But all are welcome, regardless if you are Capricorn or sun sign Aquarius, right? Even if you're not those things, is what I meant to say, right? Is that we all have Capricorn and Aquarius somewhere within our chart. So you can also be a cross watcher, right? Or you can be a Capricorn rising or Aquarius rising. You could be a Capricorn moon or Aquarius moon, okay, etc. All right. So go ahead and get into your reading here in just a moment, Aquarius. I've pre-shuffled all of your cards ahead of time. And yeah, what else? What was I going to say? Yes, so all readings are timeless. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. And if you're coming back, welcome back, right? Everybody's appreciated here. I appreciate your energy and your views. So when I say that the reading is timeless, what I mean by that is it could for some resonate before or after the original timestamp. Not timestamp, but title. Okay, so it could resonate before, after June 21st through July 21st. Okay, really just depends on what is going on in your life, right? Since this is a general reading and not a one-to-one reading. Okay, so anyway, let's go ahead and get started here. I want to do a quick little sound bell for some general healing and grounding for the reading and just to get in the energy of receiving information from spirit, right? But also getting into the Capricorn Aquarius energy. Okay, so we're going to start with Capricorn, of course. All right, so just be aware it does get a little bit loud if you're sensitive to that. If you're listening with headphones or anything like that, or just sensitive in general. But yeah, let's do a quick one of these for each one here. All right. All right. That's good. Okay, so just put this over here for now. And if you haven't seen me in a while, I have a little bit of a new setup. Just for a couple weeks, I'm staying with a friend. So there's been some moving going on recently, and that's also why these videos are just a little bit later than I normally like to do, right? But it is all divine timing, and I enjoy being here. So, all right, Aquarius. No, I'm sorry, Capricorn. Capricorn. All right, so let's get into your reading here. So I shuffled ahead of time and pulled all of your cards. If you've seen me before, you've seen me do that. You'll see me again do it after this reading if you want to tune in for the other one as well. All right, but let's go ahead and talk about real quickly the placement of the cards and also call out the cards. Okay, so we're doing a 4-week time period, right? So from June 21st through July 21st. So the first card can be from around June 21st to June 27th, right? So last week. And then the second card would be where we're in now, depending on when you're watching this, of course, is June 28th through July 4th. Then we have the third card, which would be around, right? It's not exact, July 5th through July 11th. And then the fourth card could be from around July 12th through July 21st. Okay, and then we also will talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck. Always, we're using 2 different tarot decks, and then your confirmation card, and then we have a little animal oracle card at the very end. Okay. So Capricorn, we do have, let's see, we've got Pisces energy. I'm calling out the other zodiac sign energies that I see here in your reading before I forget. Actually, you have Pisces twice. You've got a little bit of Libra. You've got Virgo. And that's pretty much it as far as the major arcanas. You have four major arcanas in your reading here. So that could mean a lot of change that's already happened or coming up for you, depending on where you fall in your recent past or in your future, right? But we also have fire, earth, 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 air. So you got a lot of earth energy here, right? In Capricorn, you are an earth sign, but it could be the other earth signs as well, right? I did say Virgo showed up here in your reading. And it could, I don't see Taurus as the official card here, but who knows? There could definitely be some Taurus energy somewhere. But what does this mean, right? Like, why am I mentioning this? It could be that you're dealing with a Pisces or Libra or Virgo, or you have a lot of that in your birth chart, or they do, etc. Or it could be referencing a time period. So last Pisces season, last Libra season, last Virgo season, or Pisces season coming up, Libra season coming up, or Virgo season coming up. Or it means nothing at all, so you have to take it how it resonates for you. So let's go ahead and call up the cards here, though. So Capricorn, you have the King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, also known as King of Pentacles reverse. You have the Moon card in the right side up position, the Hanged One, also known as the Hanged Man, in the right side up position, and you have the Three of Swords right side up. So we'll talk about the other ones, as we get there. But yeah, we start off here with this energy of perhaps a male energy or masculine energy, right? We're not talking about gender since we all have masculine and feminine inside of us, but feeling a little bit somebody could have, or if it's not a person, if it's not you yourself here, Capricorn, or a person you're dealing with, or multiple people, it could be an energy, it could be the environment, what's going on in the world, etc. It could be a lot of different things. But somebody here perhaps is having a hard time finding their voice in a situation, or an energy in general, perhaps, could also talk about a little bit of not wanting to level up in some way since the king in reverse, right? But we'll break it down more in a moment with, what's on the top and the bottom of your deck. But it's also here, Capricorn, a little bit, I'm just trying to move the cards so you can kind of generally see where they are. But, I'll hold them up to you in a moment. And I also take a picture at the end after the live, so you can always click in the description box below and find out how to see it if you want to. But yeah, with this King of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, what I was saying was like having a hard time finding a voice as far as what you want to pass down to, let's say, as an example, right, or a metaphor, the younger generation, okay? Let me show you the card, because then it kind of starts to make a little bit more sense. So in this deck, right, the sacred circles are the same as the pentacles, okay? But it's in the reverse position. Normally, when this king is right side up, he's an older Native American man. So it's all about oral traditions, right, in the Native American culture. And so he's playing the drum, and he's about to tell the younger generation some type of wisdom, what he's learned, some life lessons, some advice, what have you, whatever it is, okay? And we see in the background over here that lightning, okay? The lightning is from the Tower card, but it's also about the crown chakra. So passing on spiritual downloads, passing on revelations, passing on anything in that kind of area of seeing all the pieces come together, and how you can be a leader, how you can be in a position of authority, or have more confidence, right? But it turned out here in your reading this time, and it's not a completely horrible thing here, Capricorn. I like to say it's an energetic blockage or a challenge or gentle reminder, but it was in the reverse position. So someone, again, is having a hard time finding their voice around perhaps a spiritual download, revelations, wanting to level up in their life, something to do with confidence, feeling abundant in general. Perhaps there was some money issues going on here, Capricorn, in the last week we just finished, or even, further beyond that in the past. I forgot to mention, when we talk about the first card in general, all four cards, we could say this, but more so in that first card is energy from excuse me, It can be energy from, let's say, the recent past. So whatever that means for you. So it could be a couple days ago, right? A week ago. It could be 3 months ago. It could be 6 months ago. It could be a year ago. It'll be different for everybody. Okay. But again, it's just an energetic blockage or gentle reminder or challenge. Okay. Because as we go out through the reading, we will see kind of how things may progress in the future. God, I can't talk today. Okay, guys. Sorry, there's been a lot going on. So anyway, if you see me before, I always have my big thing of coffee here. So one second. All right. So let's break down even more why this King of Sacred Circles, your first card, right, or King of Pentacles, came out in the reverse position. So what's on the top and the bottom of your deck is going to represent past energy. Again, whatever that means for you. Okay, recent past, further back past, whatever, just past in general. All right. But what we have here is on the top of your deck, you have the King of Wands. I'm sorry, not the King. The Knight of Wands in the reverse position. You have two knights. And then you also have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse position here. Okay. And again, we're talking about it with this little guy. All right. So in the past, okay, there was a lot of false starts or miscommunications around something, or again, resisting the leveling up in some area of your life. If these guys were right side up, they're knights. Eventually, they would become a king, but they're blocked, okay? These knights would represent a small offer or communication that you were going to give or someone was going to give to you, or that just came in general from the universe, all right? But they're in that reverse position. So that means that perhaps it wasn't the right time, or the message or communication wasn't well received, or just straight up didn't happen, okay? But, I think that for some, if this was, again, about money, it could be that, again, there was a feeling of lack of abundance, perhaps because things maybe didn't come out exactly the way you wanted or the other person wanted, or in general environment situation wanted in regards to money, right? Because these guys are in reverse. Perhaps the amount of money kind of stayed in that. Normally, I would say the knights or the princes would be a medium-sized offer, communication, or medium-sized amount of money, whatever that means for you, right? Because everyone has different values. But it is like normally the page, the knight or prince, and then the king. But because, again, the reverse, it could be that, excuse me, let me turn that down. It could be that it was stuck in that, like, not completely small amount, but let's say medium-sized amount. And maybe you or the other person or multiple environment was really wanting, of course, a larger amount of money or abundance. It doesn't necessarily have to be money, right? When we talk about pentacles or sacred circles, we're talking about abundance. So abundance is whatever you want to manifest in life. Okay, I was just saying in particular because you have a lot of pentacles here in your reading, earth energy again, but again, money, coins, right? So you have 1, 2, 3, is that it? Yeah, you have 3. And then you have 4 major arcanas, and then you have a swords, an air card, and 1 wand card. Okay, but it is, if we said the majority of your minor arcana cards here are pentacles or sacred circles. So what does that mean? It could also be a little hint here for some of an even deeper meaning or underlining message to your reading, right? Because when we talk about pentacles or sacred circles, we're saying some of the questions that could come up is like, what do I value? What does the other person value or multiple people value? What is the environment value, right? The world value, depending on where you are. But basically, who sets that value, and do I agree with it or not? Am I being valued enough? Is the other person being valued enough, right? It comes up with worth and coin and money, right? When you pull out whatever form of money you have where you are in the world, right? Everybody knows, unless they're new there and visiting, they know what that means. That's a $5 bill. This is a certain amount of rupees, right? Whatever it is, okay? So yeah, so basically, when this comes up here, Capricorn, it doesn't surprise me, right? You being an earth sign and you being a very hardworking sign, and you definitely are very tend to be, as a generalization, right, or stereotype, tend to be very frugal and good with your money, or money focused, or have a certain amount of savings, that kind of thing. So anyway, let's keep going though, right? Because it will be different for everybody. So now we move from your first card, the King of Sacred Circles, in reverse, to now your second card, your second week, the Moon in the right side up position. And that's that Pisces energy. You have it again later, but this is the official Pisces card, okay? And we're talking about the second card could be from June 28th through July 4th, okay? It's where we are now, right? Depending on when you're watching. So when this card comes up after that King of Sacred Circles in reverse, there could be something that is still hidden from you here, Capricorn, or the other person, or most people, general environment, okay? There's still some wisdom that can be gained, okay? Because the Moon card isn't all bad, and we're not saying Pisces are bad, right? We're talking about more of the lower vibrational frequencies of the moon, right? When something is being hidden, the higher vibrational frequencies of the moon would be passion, creativity, poetry, magic, enchantment, right? But on the other side, if those things go too far, then you can have disillusionment, confusion around what is real and what's not real, right? But really small, tiny in the card. Hopefully you'll be able to see it. There's this little, looks like a Native American grandmother figure, okay? Hopefully you can see her right over here. All right, so that's the wisdom that still needs to be gained. Now, the other thing I always say about the Moon card, a great example is if you're staying at a friend's house and you're already sleeping, you get up in the middle of the night, and you're not all the way awake, and you're walking to get some water or whatever, go to the bathroom, and you see a coat rack in the corner, but you don't know that at that time, when all the lights are off, right, at night in the moon. So you think it's a person, a monster, you don't know what the hell it is, another piece of furniture, what have you. But if you were just to turn on the light, right, then you could see more clearly. So there's something here, Capricorn, that still needs to be seen more clearly. And again, it could have something to do with that King of Sacred Circles in reverse, your first card. It could have something to do with money. It could have something to do with love, your health, whatever it is, okay? But it's not all bad, right? It's just saying that there's something else here that needs to be seen and revealed, or some type of wisdom brought around it, okay? All right, now moving forward here, Capricorn, your third card is the Hanged One, or also known as the Hanged Man. And this is that third week, so that could be from around July 5th through July 11th as just a reference, right? Not exact, okay? But the way that it's shown in this deck, it's called the Hanged One, and it's the little baby here in the fetus, right? So again, we go from the moon to now the Hanged One. All right. So I think that this is very positive, because it feels like if there was more information, if the light needed to be turned on, if more wisdom was needed around something, then here we have it, because there's been a perspective change. Okay. Because normally the Hanged Man or the Hanged One, right, they have the ability to be flexible in their view, their philosophy, their angle, or how they're looking at something. They're saying, okay, I'm going to look at it this way, I'm going to look at it that way, right? They have this more flexible nature to themselves. So this could be you here, Capricorn, another person, most people, your environment, right? And it's really nice too, the way that they show it in this deck in particular, right, is because it is shown. I'm just turning the music up a little bit so the dogs don't get crazy. All right. And so it's about looking right at the world almost like a baby for the first time. And that's, again, that flexibility, not being, when we get to a certain age, we've been taught by society and people around us, you have to look at this like this. This means the value. Again, going back to the Pentacles, who places the value, who negotiates the value, who sets the value, right? But when you come out as a baby, right, you're seeing everything for the first time, and you're having more flexibility around those things. You're more open-minded, okay? And this is really beautiful, right? We want to see this here, okay? Who doesn't want to sometimes be having that refreshed sense of again, looking at the world through the eyes of a child, the innocence and the open-mindedness. Okay. All right. Now moving forward here, Capricorn. Your fourth card, and we're talking about the fourth week now, which could be from around July 12th through July 21st, is the Three of Swords in the right side up position. Now, Capricorn, if I can remember correctly, you get this card from time to time, right? And it's not a bad thing, okay? But it does represent some type of hurt. Hold on one second. Don't start.
What?
Some type of hurt or heartache or pain or betrayal, or it could just be lower vibrational frequencies that would manifest as, like, let's say, exhaustion, okay? Mentally exhausted, all right? And this, again, doesn't necessarily have to be you, Capricorn. It could be a person around you, multiple people around you, or an environment situation, the astrology, the world, right? Whatever it is, okay? But when the swords in tarot, when the swords show up, it represents our mind, our logical brain, our crown chakra, right? But here we see this Japanese guy and he's leaving, and there's two women behind him that kind of look upset, right? So that's pain, hurt, betrayal for some, right? But it could also just be that they're worried about him, right? So that could be the mental exhaustion, being overly worried about someone or something, okay? But like I always say, there is, just trying to think of the way to say it. Every sign, every person throughout life, you probably already know if you're watching this video, right, is that we all have ups and downs. So it could just be a gentle reminder for you here, Capricorn, if you've been over worried about something or someone around you has, or multiple people, to kind of check in and say, well, where can I find more rest mentally, right? It's not just about physical body and taking care of your body, but mental health, right? Okay. So let's break down here real quickly, even more insight about maybe why this card showed up here for you. So we're going to now talk about what's in the top and the bottom of the other deck. And again, this is past energy. Okay, with that Three of Swords. So we had on the top of the deck the Two of Sacred Circles, or Two of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hermit in reverse. Okay, so here again we have that Virgo energy from the past I was talking about in the beginning of the video here. So when we have the Two of Sacred Circles in reverse, it's like in the past here, let's say somebody's priorities were not where they should have been. Normally, when the Two of Sacred Circles is right side up, this guy is focused on getting more coins, getting more sacred circles, having more energy, more love, more health, whatever it is, right? And so he's calling to the bear spirit to help him plan for the future, money-wise, right? Have that savings plan for the future, energy and health-wise and love-wise, all those things. But it was reversed here. So there's a little bit of that blockage, right, in the past, okay? And so when we put it together, though, with this Three of Swords right side up, is if somebody was not, excuse me, sorry, if somebody was not, having their priorities together and working on that, or possibly asking for help from others, right? This Native American guy was calling to the bear spirit, but it could be anybody, right? It could be any energy, but he's open to getting some type of help because he's tired of struggling. So here in the past, somebody perhaps didn't know how to do that because they were just used to struggling for so long, or they were embarrassed, or what have you. It could be a lot of different things here. But it's almost like they went against their own insight also with the Hermit in reverse position, because the Hermit would be your intuition, your inner guidance system. At the end of the day, we usually know the answers, right? But if we're not quiet enough to listen to ourselves, sometimes it's harder to hear them, okay? And lots of other reasons, of course. But generally, I would say that when this Hermit is in reverse and the Two of Pentacles is in reverse with the Three of Swords, it's connected to letting go of that hurt, that pain, that heartache, that mental exhaustion, as far as, okay, so in the past, my priorities weren't together, or I wasn't asking for the right help myself here, Capricorn. I'm saying you here, Capricorn, or someone around you that you're dealing with, a general environment situation, but all was needed was just more insight, right? More intuition and listening to your guides, your ancestors, your spirit guides, what have you, okay? So that's just a little bit more insight about maybe why that card showed up and a little bit key answers to how you can work through it in the future, right? Because nothing is set in stone. This is just what we have so far for you at this time here, Capricorn. All right, but there is always free will and all that good stuff. Okay. Now, moving forward, we're getting close to the end of your reading, but we also need to talk about your confirmation card and your little oracle card at the end, your animal oracle card. So your confirmation card here, which is confirming all 4 cards and the 4-week period that we're talking about, is the judgment card, right? In the right side up position, okay? So this is a little bit of Libra energy, right? I mentioned before. When this judgment card shows up, okay, it's basically saying here, Capricorn, do you want to continue operating in the same place you have in the past in some way? Again, right? It could be about a lot of different things. It could be about love. It could be about health. It could be about money. All those things would be on creative projects, what have you, right? Or is it time to let how you did it before in the past, or how the other person did in multiple people general environment, how they did it in the past, to now manifest something new or a new way of doing things, right? Because the judgment card is that typical kind of energy from the Bible, or the way that it's shown here in this deck, right? Is I can't remember if it's Archangel Michael. We'll just say it's Michael. But anyway, there's an angel here right in the back of the card that's blowing his horn, and he's saying, okay, if you pass all the moral tests that God set before you, now you can be reborn. So these other people are dead, right? But he has woken up and he is being picked or selected, right? But it's a metaphor, okay? So it's like, do I want to revisit something? Do I want to be reborn? At that, right? Do I want to see something from a new perspective, or does the other person, or can I? How can I be more flexible? How can I see the world as a new child, as a new person? Okay, so yeah, there's lots of different ways that it can go down, but I really feel that it is kind of saying here that it's up to you, Capricorn, right? It is up to you how you want to proceed and move forward. But as long as you can let go of the anxiety, worry, overthinking, or the mental exhaustion, and continue to kind of stay in the hanged man or hanged one energy of being flexible, even just asking yourself in general, here, Capricorn, and the other person, right? About, do I want to revise this? Do I want to revisit it? Do I want to stay where I've been at? Or is it time to ascend and do something differently? Okay, those are good things to always ask. Okay, even if you, let's say, don't change, it's always good to check in and ask those questions. All right, let's move on. So your oracle card, your animal oracle card, it's not really oracle card, but I'm going to say it's an oracle card, is from this is Susan Eleanor Bolette, and she's an artist, and she had these little cards that I bought years ago. So they're all animal cards. So the one you got here, Capricorn, is the crocodile, and it's so cute. It kind of made me think about, maybe you guys can comment if you remember, but there was some cartoon in like the 80s or the 90s, pretty sure it was the 80s, that had this singing crocodile, and he was always eating. And when I saw this crocodile with his hands on his belly here and kind of, I don't know, it looked like he was maybe smiling or she was smiling. It made me smile. So I don't know. If you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know. Or maybe I'll think about it later and in the comments myself. But anyway, what is this crocodile? What are the symbols? What is the meaning behind it, the metaphors, right? So the symbology is opportunity, risk, fertility, and life, right? Fertility, again, going back to this hanged man, be a birth of a new project, a new person, a new part of yourself, anything, right? So that seems to be kind of a theme throughout your reading. But let me go ahead and read this real quickly. It's real short. It says alligators and crocodiles are creatures of the water, particularly in the swampland, which suggests both fertility and the feminine principle of life and death. They have often been associated with dragons, which appears in myths and legends as wily guardians of treasures and keepers of wisdom. Stories that have revolved around crocodile encounters stories that have revolved around encounters with these reptiles have often involved a new opportunity, but one that always carries significant risk. As with many mythological reptiles, the crocodile in this painting appears wise, menacing, and somewhat indulgent. Okay, so the indulgent thing was what stood out to me again, right? Like that crocodile from the 90s cartoon where he's always eating, and this guy looks like maybe he just had a meal or something. Okay. So this could be additional message here for you at this time, Capricorn, even beyond. But when I saw the card, it made me happy. So hopefully it will make you happy too. All right. Again, if you want to see a picture of the cards after the live, all you have to do is go in the description box below and follow the instructions there. So let's go ahead now and shift over to Aquarius. And we're going to do shuffling of all the cards, of course, here. So just be patient with me for a moment as we gather all the cards together and do some shuffling. All right. And I always put my little crystals on top just so everything can charge and get the fresh energy that is needed for the new reading. Now, I did burn some incense earlier. Also, sometimes I do that to, just kind of hold the smoke underneath or over, right, of the cards as well to get even more cleansing energy. All right. So let's go ahead and do a sound bell here again to clear the energy and ground. And then we will get started on Aquarius. All right. So if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever. Just breathe naturally. Just listen. All of those things are cool too. Just be aware it gets a little loud for a moment, but just for a second. All right. All right. Aquarius. What happened to my music here a little bit? Okay. That's good. Not too loud. All right, Aquarius. Let's do some shuffling for you now. All right. Spirits guide my hands. Messages for Aquarius. Air sign Aquarius for June 21st through July 21st. All right. Messages for Aquarius. Spirits, messages for Aquarius. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for the highest vibration? Messages for Aquarius. Messages for air sign Aquarius, June 21st to July 21st, Aquarius. Messages for Aquarius. June 21st to July 21st, Aquarius. Okay, just going to do some shuffling for each deck here. Messages for air sign Aquarius for June 21st through July 21st, Aquarius. Messages for Aquarius. June 21st through July 21st, Aquarius. Spirits, guide my hands. Messages for Aquarius. Air sign Aquarius, the water bear, for June 21st to July 21st, Aquarius. Messages for Aquarius. For the highest vibration, June 21st to July 21st. Leo, no. Guys, please, come sit down. Come on. Yep. Sorry, guys. Come sit down. Messages for Aquarius. Girl, please. You're not an Aquarius. I mean, you might be. Sure. She's a rescue, so I don't know her birthday. Come here, Cleo. Come sit down. Got your little music. Come on. Come sit. You want to come here on camera? Then you gotta be quiet. If you're not gonna come over here, you gotta be quiet. Alright, correct. So let's go ahead and do a little bit more shuffling and start pulling your cards here. So of course, if you're just tuning in and after this live and I put up the timestamp for Aquarius, welcome, right? Appreciate your energy and your views. So we're going to get some messages here for Aquarius, and this is a general reading. So if you cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc., all forms of abundance. And it is originally from June 21st through July 21st, but it can go in the past and it could also go in the future beyond that. So it will be different for everybody since it is a general reading. Okay. Messages for Aquarius. Air sign Aquarius. For June 21st through July 21st. What do they need to see? What do they need to know for the highest vibration? 4 cards, please. Spirit messages for Aquarius. Aquarius. Messages for water sign Aquarius. Air sign Aquarius, the water bear. Messages for air sign Aquarius. For June 21st through July 21st. What do they need to see? Okay. So then we're going to take the top and the bottom. Now we'll confirm the spirit how they want these cards in their placements, if they want them reversed or right side up, that kind of thing. So okay. Spirits, just to confirm, you want the four of swords in the right side position of the third tarot card for this Aquarius reading. Okay, so we'll put these aside for a moment and keep going. All right. Let's see here. Messages for Aquarius for June 21st through July 21st. Air sign Aquarius, the water bear. Spirit, 1 card, please. Messages for Aquarius. All right. Okay, 1 more. Messages for Aquarius. Spirits, 1 card, please. Messages for Aquarius. For June 21st through July 21st. Messages for Aquarius' highest vibration. Where do you need to see? All right. Okay. So, oh yes, the top and the bottom of this one. I almost forgot. So we got the top and we got the bottom. All right, 1 more confirm with them. Okay. All right, so let's see here. Put this over here. Yeah, everything. Oh wait, move it the other way so you can see it a little bit more generally, and its spaces. Okay. Um, and oh, let me take a picture while I remember your Aquarius, and then we'll get started. Um, Sometimes I forget. Hold on. All right, so just trying to figure out where Spirit wants your top and bottom for each deck. I have a feeling they all want it on one card, but I want to confirm, so give me just one more moment here. Okay. They don't want that, just kidding. Let me do one more thing here just to check. Okay, so I kind of want it like that. Wait, how did I take the picture? Did I mess up the picture? Let me check. Yeah, kind of. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be exact, but I want it to be, so. Hold on one second, guys. Okay. Oh man, no, don't do that. I was trying to take a video. Okay, now we're finally ready. My goodness. Okay. Aquarius. Let's go ahead and call out your cards here. And for the people who are just tuning in, we're talking about a 4-week time period, right? So from around June 21st through July 21st. Okay, so the first 4 main cards, each one is going to cover a week's time or so. All right. And then we'll do the top and the bottom and your confirmation card and your little oracle card at the very end. Okay. So the first week can be around June 21st through June 27th, so last week, depending on when you're watching. And the second card could be from June 28th through July 4th, where we're in now. And the third week could be from around July 5th through July 11th, the fourth week from July 12th through July 21st, okay? And these are just reference, they're not exact, all right? But let's talk about real quickly what other zodiac signs we see here in the reading before we get real deep, okay? You do have Virgo energy here, you have Gemini, you have Aries, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing. You do have 2 Earth cards, 2 Air cards, 1 Cup. Wait, what did I say? I'm just kidding. Let's go back. You have 3 Swords cards, 1 Earth card, 1 Cup card, and the rest are Major Arcana. So what does that mean? The Minor Arcana can represent an underlying double meaning for your reading, something to think about, right? So swords are all, the majority of your minor arcana are swords, right? The three swords cards here. That can be asking questions, right? Of am I balanced within my mental, within my logical mind? Do I have any anxiety, worry, overthinking, or even depression that I need to think about? But also the sword, just like the wands, is a tool or a weapon, right? So am I going to cut back the branches that are in my way so I can keep moving on my path? Or am I also going to use the sword as a tool as a weapon to hunt an animal and then to cook it, right? All those things. So it's kind of like just putting out the questions again of how can I have the best mental health where it is both a tool and a weapon, but not just one or the other, but kind of having that balance. Okay, so there's something just to think about in the background. All right, so let's go ahead and call out your cards here too. Aquarius. So your first card is the Hermit in the right side up position. Your second card is the wonderful Ten of Cups in the right side up position. Your third card is the Four of Swords in the right side up position. And your fourth card is the Fool in the right side up position. And then we'll talk about the other ones as we go through here. All right, so Aquarius, yes, we have your first card is the Hermit, right? That Virgo energy. And if you just watched the last reading for Capricorn, they had a little bit of Virgo energy in their reading as well, a different placement for the card, okay? But just wanted to, say that in case you wanted to check out the other reading. It may mean something to you, but it doesn't have to. Anyway, when we talk about this last week that you were going through here, Aquarius, or even before that in the past, right? Or I'm trying to think of the right way to say it, but basically, when we talk about the first card in particular, throughout the whole reading, but really in general, your first card too is energy from the recent past. Okay, so whatever that means for you, it could be a couple of days ago, it could be a couple months, it could be a couple years, right? But we have that Hermit, the Virgo here, okay? This is a wonderful card in this placement because it talks about your intuition, your inner guidance system, okay, your gut reactions to things, your first reactions to things, right? So here we see the Hermit, excuse me, on the edge of the cliff, and he is kind of stepping alone to find out those answers for himself, right? At the end of the day, usually we have the answers that we need, but we don't always trust them, or we want them to be confirmed by somebody else, or vice versa, what have you, okay? But here is this positive aspect of the Virgo card, or the higher vibrations of Virgo energy, or the Hermit energy, right? Of being organized, of trying to find the next logical steps to take, but not only with the logical mind, all the swords cards in your reading, but also with the heart chakra and that intuition, okay, that inner knowing, the additional senses that we talk about, having them all come together here. All right, so this is really beautiful to see here for you, Aquarius. And we're going to talk about real quickly maybe why this card has come out in this position, okay? Because it doesn't come from anywhere, right? Whether a card is good or bad, and what is good or bad, right? But depending on the vibrations that it is showing at that time, there's usually a reason of, well, what led up to this, right? So that's what we're going to talk about. So what we have, and this is again past energy, whatever that means for you. All right, we have the Emperor in the right side up position, the Aries energy I mentioned, and then also the King of Swords in the reverse position on the bottom of your deck here. And we're talking about it with the Hermit card, right? So in the past, in some way here, Aquarius, perhaps you were feeling more confident, more passionate, you were in a role of authority perhaps for some, or you were just able to see things from a larger perspective. You had a lot more support around you, or the other person here, Aquarius, if it's not about you, if you're a cross watcher, what have you. But it is basically talking about this energy of, even though we have all this positive energy in the Emperor card in the past, again, Aries energy, the first sign of the zodiac, so oh my God, can't talk today. Entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship energy. Thank you. Oh my God. Even though that energy is present here in the past, there was something that was triggering you here, Aquarius, if it's about you or the person you're dealing with, multiple people, general environment situation, that then led to the King of Swords in reverse. So then led to feeling less confident, feeling less supportive, but also having something where there was mental confusion, anxiety, worry that was perhaps brought on by a lot of emotions, right? So normally if this little King of Swords dude was right side up, he's the master of his emotions in a positive way. He's standing in water, and the water and tarot represent our emotions, right? And then again, using that sword as a tool or weapon. Here he's fishing, he's using it as a tool, okay? But it was in reversed for you here in the past, okay? But it's almost like because it was in that reverse position, someone used that energy here, Aquarius, again, if it wasn't you, to make it a catalyst. To then be like, okay, I need to go inward. I need to use my intuition, my inner guidance system, yeah, my gut reaction to things. So then I can, right, flip that King of Swords in reverse over and having more mental clarity and being more in control of my emotions in a positive way. And then get back to also my royalty energy, right? If these both were right side up, they're both kings, okay? So again, having confidence, having support around you, abundance, growth, mental clarity, all those things, okay? So if we really just, just gained a little bit of insight here about maybe why this hermit showed up in this position here for Aquarius, okay? So it's almost like because in the past someone used that as a catalyst and said, okay, I'm going to re-tap into my intuition, and I'm going to move forward here and slow down too, because the hermit is not a really fast energy vibration to it, right? If we looked at these two kings, they would both be for movement and progress and progression and really fast energy, right? If they were both right side up. But here, when we get to the hermit, it's like slow down energy, like I was saying. In order to hear your own intuition, whether it is physically, spiritually, energetically, it needs to be quiet so you can hear those answers more clearly. So that's why he's alone. So it's maybe like saying here, Aquarius, that in that first week they were talking about, there needed to be some solitude in some way. Again, even if it's not physically alone, just mentally cleaning out the debris and just getting more in touch with yourself. All right. So enough of that. Let's keep going. But it's good. It's good, Aquarius. So speaking of really good, when we get to your second week here, your second card, this is the Ten of Cups in the right side up position. So it doesn't really get any better than that, okay? And that's the time week that we were saying could be from around June 28th through July 4th, all right? And so the cups, just like in the water in the tarot, and there's water in this card behind, or in the castle moat, right? There's water all around the castle, is emotional fulfillment, happiness. What makes me emotionally content, fulfilled, happy, all those things. All the cups are right side up. And it is also a culmination energy, 10 being the highest in the tarot. So when we talk about emotions, what makes me emotionally fulfilled and happy, right? And all those things, it could be that in this week here, Aquarius, you were feeling really positive about those things. And of course, it couldn't probably be possible without going within first to ask those questions and then to receive it, right? And it also could be about endings and new beginnings emotionally, right? So, yeah, I mean, it could be that some relationships are not going to last as far as, let's say, friendships. I'm not necessarily talking about romantic relationships, but if it resonates for you, it resonates. But it's more about, especially with Saturn being here and then having Neptune retrograde, things are becoming more clear. And if you want to know more about that stuff and you don't already know, I did post a astrology notes video on my channel here. But anyway, it's really, having those things come together and enjoying them, right? So these people are going to a party. Okay, so these could be your friends down here going in to have some type of celebration, right? There's rainbows. It's 10 of Cups. So it's celebrating those things, but also maybe it's confirming things for you here too, Aquarius. So having, let's say you get together with some friends that you haven't got together with in a long time. And then you find out with, well, I don't know if I necessarily relate with them the same way I used to in the past. So maybe I needed to take a break from them, so I can keep focusing on what I want emotionally to go forward. So that could be that 10 of cups, the 10, the culmination, the endings, new beginnings. It could just be an example, but it could also be like if we're talking about different forms of love, right? Not just friends and romantic, but self-love. It could be that you are coming to understand something emotionally in yourself that is bringing these endings and new beginnings. It'll be different for everybody, but excuse me, either way, it's really, really nice energy. And I'm an Aquarius moon, so cool. I'm like, let's bring it. All right, but let's keep going forward here, Aquarius. So on your third card, your third week here, we have really your only energetic blockage or challenge throughout your reading, as I like to call it, right? A gentle reminder, is this Four of Swords energy, okay? And this third week could be from around, right, July 5th through July 11th, okay? But the Four of Swords is this Japanese woman here, right? She's bearing a sword. So she's stressed out about something or has been. So it could be you, Aquarius, or someone around you that you're dealing with, their general environment situation, but they don't want anyone to see. So instead of dealing with it, there's kind of putting it on the back burner. I'll deal with it later, or shielding it from others or even yourself, right? But like I said before in the beginning of the reading, and with that King of Swords in reverse on the past, right? You want to use the tool as both a weapon and a tool, okay? You don't want it to just be the anxiety, worry, overthinking, right? So we don't know what she did with that sword. Maybe she stabbed somebody. Who knows? Maybe someone around her stabbed somebody. Hopefully not. We don't support stabbing people, obviously. But you know what I mean? It's like, why is that being hidden, right? What in the mental mind, the logical mind, the crown chakra is being hidden? Why? Right? We all have anxiety, worry, overthinking throughout our lives in different times. So it's like coming to terms with that and having some help with the mental health, right? That's what the swords kind of represent here. So, side note, as we go forward, it gets much better. So, like I said, it's just an energetic blockage. It's a gentle reminder. It could be just a couple of days of energy. It could be a week. It could be more than that, right? But it doesn't. Nothing ever lasts forever. So don't freak out too much about it. Okay. But when we talk about it and why it showed up here, Spirit wanted me to tell you even more insight. So we're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of the other deck with that Four of Swords. So here on the top of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles in the right side up position. And this is, again, past energy, why this stuff led to this stuff, okay? And then we have, a basic way to say it, the Knight of Swords in the right side up position that showed up on the bottom of your deck here, okay? So in the past here, in some way, Aquarius, somebody perhaps was operating from a place of lack or operating from a place of fear, right? The Four of Pentacles is about having abundance and how do I get more of it? How do I get more money? How do I get more love? How do I have better health, etc., right? But he is kind of holding on to what he has. He even has a pentacle or a coin under his feet, and he's holding one and one's on top of his head. So it's just like grab, 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 greedy, 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 scared, 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 coming from a place of fear or coming from a place of there's never enough, okay? So I gotta really hold on to it, okay? That's what was going on in the past in some way here, Aquarius. Again, it doesn't necessarily have to be you, but this is what showed up, okay? Now, when this was going on in the past, whether that was, again, a couple days ago, months, years, etc., it could have been a catalyst, right? Because then we have the Knight of Swords in the right side up position. So the Knight being, okay, some type of medium-sized communication that either you gave to someone or some corporation or party or thing, or medium-sized energy from the universe about an opportunity or communication that went either to you or from you to someone else or vice versa, right? But it kind of brought more mental clarity, okay? It was like, okay, now I know I can't act like that, or I shouldn't be like that, or the other person, the general environment situation, okay? There is, again, that mental clarity, your third swords card, the mental health, right? Having it be in the best way it can so you can move about your way and have more opportunity, more abundance, and whatever it is in your life, okay? So when we look at this past stuff, it's just kind of reminding you here, Aquarius, of the other person, general environment situation, that, again, you don't have to bury it. You don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to put it on the back burner. You don't have to hide it from people or yourself. You can just work through it, okay, and know that better things are coming and hopefully less anxiety, worry, right? And more of a place where you can see things clearly, mental clarity, right? When we, just real quickly, and then we'll go forward. That King of Swords that was in the past, it was reversed, right? But I'm just showing it to you as an example too here. He cuts things out of his way. He uses that sword as a tool. He cuts the branches back, right? So it's like that cut, right? He's not going to cut something unless he knows what he's doing. So it's like that clear air energy, right? That's the other thing here, Aquarius. You're an air sign, right? We're talking about air energy. That is in the swords cards are air energy, okay? So it's like you, just like Libra, and why can't I think of the other air sign right now? Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Oh my goodness, more coffee. So Aquarius, you, just like Gemini, and now I forgot the other one. Oh my gosh, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Okay, all the air signs, right? You, just like them, more than others, can have a tendency, if you are, let's say, a sun sign Aquarius, a moon sign Aquarius, or your rising sign Aquarius, right? You can have a tendency more than others to have that overstimulation mentally, more anxiety, worry, overthinking, okay? So this reading in general is just like, hey man, ease up, okay? Tap into your physical body. What does my physical body need? Tap into your spiritual, energetic body. What do they need? So you can get out of your head a little bit. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's get to your fourth card here, Aquarius. And we go from the Four of Swords to now the Fool energy, Gemini energy, right? Another air sign here to come in and help you maybe. Perhaps you're dealing with the Gemini, right? But this energy that shows up, and it's not the official Gemini card, but it does have some Gemini energy to it, right? Is about having trust, making a leap of faith, the Fool card here, right? It's also about not caring if you look foolish. It's about, okay, I'm going to make the first step, the leap of faith, to trust in something that I don't necessarily know how it's going to turn out. I can't see what's on the other side of the cliff, right? But I know that I need to get over there because where I'm at is no longer relevant, let's say, okay, as an example. But also in particular, there could be for some an additional message, the way that this deck shows it, right? Every deck can be a little bit different, is for some, it's also like, yeah, there's the mirror behind the tarot reader, right? And she's like, okay, so how do you see yourself? How do others see you? And again, do you care if they say, well, that was really foolish and you shouldn't have believed in that. You shouldn't have taken that leap of faith. Do you really care if you know, going from your last card to your first card, do you really care if you know that it's the right thing here for you, Aquarius? Okay. So I think it's beautiful. I love it. I love to see the Fool card here for you. Like again, this is a really beautiful reading. We really only have one energetic blockage, so really nice. But real quickly, your last tarot card before we do your animal oracle card thingy is the Eight of Pentacles in the right side up position. Earth energy, right? So this one tarot card is confirming all 4 of these, all 4 weeks that we are essentially possibly talking about, since it is a timeless reading and time is fluid and relative and all that good stuff, right? But this card is about, or this energy is about, am I being evaluated correctly? Am I evaluating others correctly? Okay. Because here we see this guy and he's working really hard. Okay. He's making these coins, he's making the money, he's making the abundance and whatever it is in his life he wants to manifest. Sorry guys, my contact. And so it is in the positive position. It's not reversed, right? I mean, not all reversals are bad, but it's in the positive position. And so it's really about putting in the effort, but it's also about, okay, this is what I've done so far. So the coins on the ground here are the ones he's finished. But then there's, or it could be the other way around. It could be the coins that are hanging from the tree are the ones that are done. And then he still has some to finish on the ground, right? So it's evaluation of yourself and also how others evaluate you. But it's in the positive placement. So it's also being like, as far as my money, right? We're talking about money and coins. How much money do I have already and how much more do I need to make? Okay. When we're talking about health or energy, how much energy do I have in the reserve and how much more energy do I need to accomplish certain tasks, right? As an example. Okay, as far as love, right? If it's romantic, right? Am I evaluating myself correctly in that romantic situation? Am I putting in enough effort? Okay, effort. This is what this card is about, effort, right? Is the other person putting in enough effort, right? Same thing if we're talking about friendships or other platonic relationships. Are they putting enough effort? Am I putting enough effort? Vice versa. Okay, self-love, same thing. Am I devoting enough time to taking care of myself, even if it's 10, 20 minutes a day, what have you, right? Am I doing that? Okay, so whatever this reading, however it resonates for you in different areas of your life, right? General reading, love, work, friends, family, health, money, etc. It is looking really nice here for you, Aquarius. So I love to see it. Now, real quickly, sorry, before you go, let's do your little animal oracle card as well. So interesting, right? When I said in the beginning of the reading here, Aquarius, that you did have Aries energy, fire energy. What else do we have? Virgo energy, earth energy, Gemini energy, air energy. You are Aquarius air energy. And then your animal oracle card ended up being a lion. So again, Aries, fire, Leo, Sagittarius kind of energy showing up here. So this is artwork done by Susan Eleanor Bolett. And she made these little, or people who work with her, whoever, made these little cards talking about her artwork and kind of the animals that show up because she does a lot of animal artwork, okay? So really beautiful. So it talks about the symbology. I'm going to read it here real quickly for you about the lion, okay? In addition to whatever the lion means for you. But it talks about courage, strength, healing, protection, and life energy. Okay. It says the lion has been a powerful symbol of strength and courage in cultures around the globe. Because of its mane and light color associated with the sun, Leo energy, a symbol of heroism and the source of life and energy in general. In Buddhism, the lion symbolizes courage, nobility, and good luck. In medieval times, the image of a lion was a symbol of healing, and it could cure any disease as well as protect a traveler from harm. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. And then it says, in this painting, the lion is framed in a circle with 4 points, which forms a mandala, a mystic circular symbol that in the Buddhist and Hindu traditions was used as an aid to meditation. And it says, the psychologist Carl G. Jung said that the circular mandala with its characteristics and 4 points basically created a holy place. It was a means towards greater self-awareness. All right, so hopefully you can see that even with the glare. Really beautiful. But yeah, this could be an additional message here for you, Aquarius, right? To get that courage, strength, healing, protection, and life energy, fire energy of the lion. So I love to see it. All right. And hopefully you found something from this reading. But yes, if you want to see a photo too after the live in a few minutes, I will be posting it all you have to do is click in the description box below and follow the little instructions on how to get to my Facebook page. But other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate your views and your energy and your likes. When you do like the video, not only does it tell me that you liked it and resonated with it in some way, it tells YouTube to share with others, which is also great. So it's a great free way to support the channel. And if you want to subscribe and you haven't yet, it's free. All you have to do is click on the bottom right here, and there's like a little bell icon. So you just make sure that you click on that, and then you'll get notified when I put out new videos. So other than that, I think that's it. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to take a little bit of a break here, and then I will be back with Pisces and Aries. And then we also have, let's see, we have Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini left. So I didn't forget about you guys. You're coming soon, okay? So if you guys want to come to those readings as well, you are always welcome. But if not, take care too. I'll see you guys later. Bye.